The first effect you will feel from the jump rope is endurance. And if 50 jumps were difficult for you at the beginning, then it may be a discovery for you that 1,000 jumps over the rope are already not such a problem after just a couple of weeks of workouts. And some people jump 3 to 5,000 jumps in one session after a month of trainings. The next effect is weight loss. As we already know, the calorie consumption of jumping rope is higher than that of running. So it's not surprising if you lose 2 or 3 kilograms of excess weight after a month of jumping rope, and also reduce your waist by a few centimeters. The next item is muscles, and I must say that the jump rope amazingly develops the calf muscles. Probably no other sport has such an effect on calves like a jump rope. And the calf muscles, of course, very well emphasize the muscularity and the aesthetics of our legs. And this is true for both women and men. But it's not only calves work. Of course, both the hips and the buttocks work too. So overall, we will improve our legs very well. But in addition, a large number of stabilizing muscles are involved, such as rectus abdominal muscle. It works during jumping rope as a stabilizer to keep our body upright. The hands also work to hold the jumping rope itself. The muscles of the back, of course, also work and perfectly stabilize this entire structure. In general, this is an ideal option. We will burn fat and develop muscles. The next point is the cardiovascular system. Of course, like any physical activity, the jumping rope will heal our cardiovascular system. But there is one thing, or rather even two. If we go in for sports in order to improve our heart and blood vessels, then it's not recommended to go over the anaerobic threshold and stay there for a long time. What is it? It's individual for all of people, but there is an average general formula. This is 220 minus our age and multiply by 0.8. This is the approximate heart rate at which we reach the so-called anaerobic threshold. Of course, this is a very approximate formula. To determine exactly when we go over the anaerobic threshold, there are more sophisticated test systems when we connect a mask that captures our oxygen and analyzes it. But I think no one will bother with such things. I propose to focus either on the pulse, it shouldn't exceed 150, or on personal sensations. If you begin to choke, this is a sign that you have gone over the anaerobic threshold. Since the jump rope is more intense exercise than running, then going over the anaerobic threshold is also much easier. Therefore, make sure that your heart rate doesn't rise to 150 or higher for more than 2 to 3 minutes. If it rises to 150, slow down to lower your pulse. This is the so-called interval training. It is best for the heart not to be in anaerobic mode for a long time. And one more nuance. There are different jumping techniques. You can jump in a standard way, simultaneously with 2 legs, or you can jump as if we were running in place. So it is much more useful for the heart if we move our legs one by one. The next item is to improve coordination. It is no coincidence that boxers regularly jump rope, because coordination is the key to boxers' success in the ring. As boxing trainers say, a boxer wins not with his hands, a boxer wins with his feet. The fighter must move effectively around the ring, have good spatial orientation, and have tremendous reaction and coordination. This is why the jumping rope is a great thing. Also, if you paid attention, boxers very often shift from foot to foot. That is, they don't stand straight. As a rule, their legs are mobile, as if we jump in rope. This is also a very important technical point, because such a state helps to maintain both the muscles and the nervous system in a good shape. That is, it will be much easier to make it jerk, jump abruptly, or conversely make a sharp attack. Are there any contraindications? Yes, the jumping rope is not recommended for people with spinal diseases and people with varicose veins in the legs. Of course, the jumping rope will be a good prevention of these things, but it works when we are still healthy. But if these problems already exist, then the jumping rope doesn't cure them and may even aggravate them. Of course, the jumping rope is not suitable for pregnant women. Here I think everything is clear, and it is worth mentioning separately about overweight people. If you have 2, 3, 4 or 5 extra kilograms, then this is not a contraindication. But if there is really huge excess weight, then the jumping rope is not your choice. People who are overweight cannot even run, because there is too much stress on the ankle, knee and hip joint. The same is with the jumping rope. In general, jump rope is a very simple and affordable thing that will help us to be healthy, fit and vigorous.